Hey everybody, it's Joe from Papa Jobo's, and today I'm going to finally be doing a little video on Halo. Halo is a game that I played when it first came out back in 2001, and I remember just sitting around with my buddies, having LAN parties, and enjoying the heck out of it. It was the first game that I played in person-to-person battles that I sucked at. And I continued to suck at it pretty much through the duration of all the games that I played. And I say all of them, I played 3 of them, but I played the first 2 all the way through, and I enjoyed the hell out of them. They were great. One of the things that happens in those films is that Master Chief doesn't take his helmet off, and Cortana pretty much acts as his conscience. Part of what's happening with people who don't like these video games is that those 2 things aren't happening. And because of that, the show's received a lot of backlash. Oh, and they're subverting expectations again. They have a little Asian girl who's going to be the star of the show. And from what I understand, she's the star of the show from people who have told me how the show goes. Now, as a content creator, I've really battled with whether or not I want to watch some of these shows, knowing what they're going to be like going in, knowing Hollywood's, I guess you'd call it their point of view right now. That's putting it nicely, I suppose. Throwing woke, cultural Marxist nonsense into everything, virtue signaling, identity politics, you know it's going to be there. And so something I'm doing now that I haven't done, that I never did in the previous 40 years of my life, was to screen things before I went and saw them. In other words, I'll get online and I'll look at my content creators that I like to watch and I'll listen to a review. And almost all of them turn out to be horrible reviews. Now, some of that stuff I go check myself and see if it is actually true or not. And in most cases, it is. That's what's happening here with Halo. So there's a lot of pushback on it for the subversion, for him putting his, for him taking his helmet off, and for Cortana not being right. Some people have ripped on the special effects. I watched some of episode 1. I thought the special effects were fine. I didn't find anything horribly wrong with them. They are nowhere near as bad as Moon Knight. Let's be clear about that. So that might be the one good thing going for it. But the star of Halo is Pablo Schreiber. He plays Master Chief, or he's supposed to be the star anyway. And he had a message for fans. Now, I didn't interpret this as anything bad, but let's go ahead and read the part that I'm going to talk about. For all the fans rooting against the home team who hated the show before they saw it and disagree with what we are doing, I respect your opinion and love you too. Because the truth is, we love the same thing. And I will keep working my butt off each and every day to make this show the best version of itself, to bring attention and respect to this Halo universe we love for all of us. I heard one take on this that said that was negative. I don't think that was negative at all. What I'm seeing here is an actor who's trying to make sure that his show gets watched and to further his career. Perfectly acceptable. Nothing wrong with that. And he may actually mean some of that. And if he does, then good on him, because that's a pretty nice thing to say to people hating on you. But what he doesn't get, what he doesn't understand, is the background, the IP, how his character works. And I'll tell you, he never takes his helmet off, right? It doesn't happen. We don't have a little girl taking over for Master Chief and subverting the entire game and saving the universe, which is going to happen in this. Let's be honest. I am debating whether or not I should try to watch it, just because, like I said, as a content creator, I think I owe it to people to actually give an honest review. But boy, is it getting hard to do. It's getting so hard to do because of all the crap they put in this stuff. And they virtue signal before they even put out the freaking show. I mean, look at Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Oh my goodness, has that just been awesome to watch be ratioed to hell. Keep doing it. You don't mess with Lord of the Rings fans. Anyway, back to Halo. I'm not familiar with the books. I'm not familiar with the IP, other than I guess some people say he kind of stole, or they kind of stole the idea for the Halo world from a book called The Ring World, which is, from what I understand, a pretty cool book. But I don't really care about that, because I've also heard that it has very much its own lore after that. And part of it is, like I said, not taking the helmet off, not subverting Master Chief. Let him be the hero. Let him shine. We know that's not going to happen, and that's why people are hating on it. But as far as Pablo Schreiber goes, I think he's just trying to defend his acting career. I don't know anything about him outside of this show, really. Well, in fact, I don't at all. This is the first time I've heard of who he is. He wants to get his acting career going. So he's trying to do everything he can to keep everyone happy. The problem is he doesn't know the character. He doesn't know the IP. He doesn't know the lore. You have to know the lore if you're going to play these characters, and you have to respect them. I've done multiple videos on it. I encourage you to go watch them. But if he's not going to do that, then he's not going to understand the backlash. Now, I applaud his response. It's fine to respond. Not fine. It's a good thing to respond that way. However, if he really wants to make people happy, he has to read about the lore, and he has to make the directors and producers hold true to it. Simple as that. I'm Joe from Papa Jobo's. Peace.